you've seen this flower. Bright, beautiful, almost too perfect. But hibiscus is not just another pretty face. It's a tea, it's rope, it's medicine. Has been carried across the oceans, banned by empires and worshipped as a sacred plant. Let's talk a little bit about the most underrated flower in your garden. I have a hibiscus hedge in my garden and I instantly learned to love the flower. Comes in different colors, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. First, let's take a look at the name. The word goes back to ancient Greece, Hibiskos, meaning mellow, as in marshmallow. Not the sugary type that you can roast on the grill, but the real thing. The most famous species is Hibiscus Rosa-Sinensis. People also call it Chinese hibiscus, but guess what? It originally comes from India, probably. The interesting part is, I'm showing you the hibiscus here in my garden. And this is actually the proper spot, as opposed to the wild. Believe it or not, humans never found a wild population of hibiscus. This means the plant has been cultivated for so long that we have actually lost track of its wild origins. Hibiscus has been with us for thousands of years. Egypt, Southern Asia, North Africa, and later Europe. The Moors brought it to Europe in the 12th century. And then in the 17th century, botanists started to experiment and create all the varieties that we know today. From hedge plants, like you see here behind me, to all the different color varieties and shapes. Some of our ancestors, namely the Polynesians, even carried the seeds to different islands with their boats. That's how important this flower was. And still is. We might want to have a plant looking that good around for mere decoration purposes, but there's a lot more. Bushcrafters can use the fibers to create ropes and tie down the tarps, but a much more common use is brewing a tea from the leaves. It's one of Jamaica's national beverages. Also, hibiscus does have healing properties, and there's even use for the seeds. So in other words, a very versatile plant. Roselle, also called Hibiscus subtarifa, makes a tart red tea. You can drink it hot or cold, and it contains lots of vitamin C and tastes really awesome. Hibiscus also is edible. The calyx, that's the fleshy part. Oh, there's some ants inside. Sorry for disturbing you guys. I'm gonna get rid of the ants first. Here, this calyx, it's edible, quite small. It tastes really great. It's used a lot in African cuisine, goes into chutneys, sauces. And then there's the seeds. Like most seeds, you can press them to create oil, but you can also roast hibiscus seeds for a coffee reassembling, nice malty drink. Already mentioned the fibers that the stems are composed of. They are pretty tough, and you can use them to make makeshift ropes, or people even use it to create paper. So, as you can see, beauty is only one application of this plant, and probably not the most important one for bushcrafters. In traditional folk medicine, hibiscus is used to bring down fevers, to cure a sore throat, and to help with bladder problems. Modern science does not confirm all of that, but some. Actually, hibiscus tea can have a positive effect on your cholesterol levels, and there are some newer studies that even suggest that it might also have a positive effect on our blood sugar levels. Is cultivating hibiscus hard? No, not at all. You just need to keep in mind that there are two different types. Tropical hibiscus, like the Sinensis type, they love heat and they hate winter. So I live in Austria, I have the northern hibiscus type. She can take up to -30 degrees Celsius in the winter. It's a very hardy plant and really easy to care for. Same goes for propagating. There are two ways. You can either take a seedling and put it into water and wait till it roots and then put it into soil. Or of course you can also use the seeds. If you use a seedling, you will get a perfect clone. With seeds, there is always more genetic variety. Some people like to use root hormones with hibiscus. That is not necessary. A bit of honey, what you put on a freshly cut seedling, and always use a very clean, ideally sterile knife, will also accelerate root growth. So what about symbolism? What about myth and meaning? Hibiscus flowers are as beautiful as they are short-lived. One day, one flower. In this light, it's no surprise that hibiscus stands for being present in the moment, being in the here and now, because life can be very short. There are also more specific meanings. In India, hibiscus is offered to the goddess Kali as a symbol of strength. In Polynesia, hibiscus symbolizes life's transitions, such as birth, marriage, death. In Korea, hibiscus is the national flower, symbolizing resilience and strength. Colors also matter. Red stands for passion, white for spiritual clarity, yellow for joy, purple for creativity, and pink for gentle affection. I mostly have purple and white hibiscus in my hedge. If I were an ancient Egyptian, Astrid would not be allowed to drink this tea. In fact, Egyptian priests had a very peculiar opinion on hibiscus. It was forbidden for the ladies because they believed it would stir women's desires. Next time you walk by a hibiscus flower, behold its beauty, but also keep in mind the thousands of years this plant has been accompanying us, the many oceans it has traveled. It's at home almost everywhere in the world.